Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Lanzerath Ridge, Battle of the Bulge. This is a game designed by David Thompson and published by DVG Games. This is the latest in the Valiant Defense series, and this is a long-running series everybody should be familiar with by now. If you're not, you're definitely missing out. This is a very easy solitaire system to get into. It's really not hard at all to understand. The concept's line of sight is really simple because it's all color-coded, which makes that one big problem for everybody in tactical games, line of sight, a very easy thing to grasp. First thing you're going to notice is a very different cover here, and it's kind of a combination of really cool and kind of eerie at the same time. I really like the vibe that the cover is bringing to the game. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this game is all about. The Battle of Lanzerath Ridge was fought on December 16, 1944, the first day of the Battle of the Bulge near the village of Lanzerath, Belgium, along a key route for the German advance. The American defenders consisted of 18 men from the 394th Infantry Regiment's Intelligence and Reconnaissance Platoon and 4 forward artillery observers. They fought against a German battalion of about 500 paratroopers and another 50 German soldiers from a Fusilier regiment. During a day-long confrontation, the Americans inflicted dozens of casualties on the Germans and delayed the advance of the entire 1st SS Panzer Division, the spearhead of the German 6th Panzer Army. In Lanzerath Ridge, you take control of the American defenders. Under your command, the defenders must fend off relentless attacks from German paratroopers and Fusiliers. Your goal is to recreate the incredible historic accomplishment by defending the key roads in the town and delaying the advance of an SS Panzer Division. In the game, this accomplishment is represented by playing through 4 waves of German attackers. You must maintain morale, report critical intelligence, accomplish special objectives, and hold your position at all costs. You can see an example of the map, the cards, and the counters at the top. Game components, we get 155 cards, 3 sheets of counters, 12 dice, 4 reference sheets, 33 by 17-inch mounted board, and a rule book. The game scale is tactical, individual soldiers. It is for 1 player, and the playtime is 75 minutes. Complexity is low, and it is rated for ages 14 and up. So let's take a look inside and see what we get. All right, we got our rule book, player aid sheets, counters, mounted map, 2 decks of cards, some wood bits, and a bag full of dice. So let's set up the map and take a closer look at the game. And here's a look at the mounted map that comes with the game, and it is a beautifully done map. I really love the art. I love the subdued palette. It really gets across the starkness of the Battle of the Bulge here. What I like even more is the fact that DVG did not go with a glossy map this time. They went with a matte map board, which really does let the art shine through, lets you appreciate it more, as well as see the different spaces on the map, which are very important in this game. With the glossy boards, the lights hitting it at different angles can make it difficult to read what's on the map. So this way I don't have to worry about whichever angle I look at the map board. I don't have to get up and kind of change my angle to see what color the different circles are here on the map, which will denote the LOS like I talked about. You have your defender boxes up here, and they're going to be color-coded the same as the approaches for the attackers. You've got your MG42 boxes here, and then these circles are going to be for your assaulters. So any defender in the orange box, for example, can attack any of the assaulters in the orange circles or in the orange square. Same for the brown over here. You can attack any attacker coming up that way. And then over here, we've got purple and brown, a mixture of the two. That means anybody in the brown and anybody in the purple can attack anybody over here. So that's a good bit of the battlefield. And then similar over here with the blue, you've got blue, you've got brown. The blue and brown can attack the brown or the blue. Then up there you've got the black that's going to be on the right-hand side. Along the top we have areas for ammunition and loaded. Then we have morale and intelligence. You're going to start off at 5 and you don't want to get to 0. You get to 0, game over. So that's something to keep in mind when you're playing. Over on the other 2 sides, you have more locations for ammunition and loaded, so you can keep track of the status of all your units. But really well done. Love the art. And like I said, I really like the fact that DVG went with the matte map board rather than the glossy. Makes it much more pleasant to look at on the table. Next, we'll take a look at the player aid cards that come with the game. The first one is the attacker phase, which is going to list out the different types of actions the attacker can take: assault, MG42, and mortar. And it's going to also list out all the steps as well as the page number in case you need to reference the rules during play. On the next sheet, we have the defense phase listing out the major actions that you can take during your turn, which will exhaust your defender: attack, close combat, adjust fire, assist, command, reposition, radio artillery, radio intelligence, which can be either a minor or a major action, and then withdraw. Again, listing out all the page numbers and the steps for each of the actions. On the next sheet, we have the defense phase minor actions, which do not exhaust. Again, all of them are listed out along with their page number in case you need to reference the rules, but they do give you the steps that you can reference during play. And on the final sheet, we have the attributes explained to you along with the associated page number, and then rules to remember. Some things that you might easily overlook during play are here to remind you to make your gameplay experience much more smooth. Next, we'll take a look at the tokens that come with the game. On the first sheet, we have action tokens and ammunition tokens, as well as assaulters. Then we have some defenders and one of the vehicles that you can use in the game. On the next sheet, we have more ammunition and disrupted tokens, as well as more assaulters, more defenders, and another vehicle. And on the final sheet, we have some fence, grenade, and radio tokens, as well as more assaulters, a vehicle, and more defenders, and the MG42s. I did not talk about that on the map, the grenades and the fence markers. The fence markers could be placed here, which will impede the movement of the assaulters, and you can also use the grenades to set booby traps. Pretty cool stuff. Next, we'll take a look at the three types of cards that come with the game. The attacker cards along the top are the ones that will drive all of the action in the game. This will tell you what type of unit is out there, what their action is, where they're placed, and any other type of effect they will have on your defenders. Below that, we see the tactics cards, which are only used in the variants that you can play if you choose. And then at the bottom, we have the objective cards, which are only used in attacks 3 and 4 later in the game, and they will have associated events as well as victory points if you can accomplish those objectives. Next, we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 34-page full-color rulebook. Inside of the front cover, we have the table of contents, a little blurb on what the game is about, the objective of the game, and then the credits here. Then we get to an introduction, giving you a little bit more background on the Battle of Lanzerath Ridge, as well as talking about the companion book. And then here we have an image looking from the INR platoon's memorial towards the wood line that they defended. So it's pretty cool to have that touch of history in the book. An explanation of the counters for the defenders as well as the attackers, and then the attacker cards, which we've already taken a look at. The three different cards that you have in the game: the attackers, the tactics, and the objective cards. Explanation of all the other tokens used in the game, and then the layout of the map, and an explanation of all the pieces that you'll be using in the game. Then we get to playing the game on page 6. Starts off with the game overview, attack period 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to have 4 decks of cards to go through. Then you get your morale. Remember, you start off at 5, you get down to 0, game over. So you want to make sure you keep your morale up. Game board, and then the line of sight, which we've talked about. It's all color-coded, easy to understand. Then we have attack period 1 setup, ending the attack periods 1 through 3, attack periods 2 through 4 setup, and then ending the attack period 4. Then we have the attacker phase, discarding attacker cards, assault, all the steps broken down for you, placing the assault counters, advancing the assault counters, fences. Remember I had mentioned you put out those fence tokens that can slow the assault a little bit and buy you a little bit more time. Attack defenders, and then the booby traps, which can be a nice little surprise for those guys as they're coming up. We have an illustrated example here, another one here, and here as well. Information on placing the MG42. And we get to the mortar, attacking vehicles, another example, and then the defense phase. Everything up to this has been the attacker, so it's the AI attacking you using the cards. Now we get into the actions that you as the player can do with the defense phase. Attacking your major action, exhaust defender. Close combat, which is a major action, exhaust defender. A couple more examples. Adjust fire, which is again a major action and exhausts the defender. Overheating weapons. And we continue on with more major actions: assist, command, reposition. Then we have radio artillery, major or minor action. And then we have the same again for radio intelligence, major or minor action. So explaining to you when it's a minor or a major action. Now we get into the minor actions: dismounting weapons, emplacing your weapons, move, recover, reload, transfer ammo, all those things that are not going to exhaust your defender, but they're going to be critical in making sure that you're able to maintain your solid defense. Attributes, squad designation, inspire, a couple more examples along the bottom. I like how throughout the rulebook you have all these illustrated examples on the bottom of the page. Attack period 3, and then we get into attack period 4, and then ending the game, and when the game ends immediately, and then of course how to score the game after the game's over. Then we have the variants, which talked about when using the tactics. Alternative setups, full strength, lost observation post, lost commanders and observation post, and the forward observer team never arrived. Then we have the tactics cards explained to you here. Elite difficulty, competitive play, full strength setup, prepare tactics cards, and then play attacker and tactics cards. Then we have the design notes here on page 29. And it goes on for a couple pages. Some greater information about the actual Battle of Lanzerath Ridge. And then we finish out the back of the rulebook with the sources used in the design of the game, as well as a listing of Lanzerath Ridge in other games. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Lanzerath Ridge, Battle of the Bulge. This is a game designed by David Thompson and published by DVG Games. Well, once again, we get another game in the Valiant Defense series, and I think this is going to be a series we're going to keep seeing for many years, because these unique pieces of history that David finds he's able to gamify into a really interesting experience for everybody. And this one is unique. I'm not really familiar with Battle of Lanzerath Ridge, so again, this is going to be something that's going to really be interesting to me, not just to play, but to also learn more about, which is, again, the best part about war games, as we get to learn about little bits of history that we are completely unaware of or don't really know much of. But love the art in this game, even love the backs of the cards. Everything about this game is just screams attractive. I really love the look of it. And again, good job DVG on choosing not to go with the glossy map. It's much better matte. It would have taken so much away from this art, and I really do love the art in this game. But I expect this is going to be another fun one from David Thompson. Again, not hard to get into. Don't let the 33-page, 34-page rulebook scare you, because everything is spelled out to you in very easy to follow instructions. Lots of illustrated examples along the bottom of the pages. I think almost every page, if not every page, has an illustrated example. So it's very easy to get these games on the table and to learn them. Just take your time and expect to get your ass kicked consistently, because that's what these games are designed to do. It's got that state of siege type of engine, and it is going to beat you mercilessly again and again. And you're going to keep coming back for more. And you'll learn each time. And again, even though you're going to adjust your tactics and your strategies a little bit, you're still going to be at the mercy of the cards that are drawn and how things play out. Chaos. That's what combat's all about. And that's what makes these games so compelling and a lot of fun to play. But looking forward to getting this one on the table and giving it a spin and seeing how bad I get my ass kicked, which will be pretty standard with these games. One thing I did not show was the wood bits. I didn't feel that we needed to take a look at those in depth, but these are if you wanted to use those in lieu of the tokens. So you have your option, wood bits or tokens on the map, your choice. Like I said, looking forward to getting this one on the table and seeing how bad I lose. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. You have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.